How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Steins Gate 0. And welcome back to my life. So I got hit hard with a cold this weekend. It started out kind of rough. When I recorded my Chusotsu video on Thursday, it was like, I'm not doing so great, but I'm okay. Then I got horrible this weekend. So when the time came to try and record Monday's video, I said, know what? No, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to try and save my voice. It's a good thing I did. It just went downhill from there. But through some rest, some powerful medication, and some cough drops, which I have in my mouth or on standby, I hope to get through this evening. However, I also have to admit a caution that I have family that are still sick. So if I wake them up, I'm going to have to step out. So this video could be late. It could be chopped up kind of funny. And my hair's going crazy, because why would it look nice when I've had such a crazy weekend? So I apologize for just this, but know that I'm very excited to be doing this and I want to be sharing this with you guys. And I sound a lot better than I did yesterday and the day before, so far so good. Last time we were here, we had a lot of exposition. And you'll see I had to play with the camera a lot just to kind of keep the text on the screen for you guys. I'm sure we're going to do that a lot more here because we're not quite back to Okabe yet. And whenever we're not with Okabe, it looks like we're going to have lots of inner monologues, which is interesting because we really didn't get that in the first game where we really got to see things from other people's perspective. We focused pretty much purely on Okabe and his point of view. So it's a little interesting to get some of this insight, and exciting enough, we are like pretty freaking sure we met Suzuha's mom, which is crazy because she looks like, the more I was like looking at her in the editing and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is gotta be her. So that's exciting. But we'll see, because apparently she isn't even against the, obviously, if she falls for Daru, it works out, but she was very much already kind of on the side of Daru's a really cool guy, which is cool, I guess. If anything, gives hope for all of us, right? So there's always people out there. Don't despair. You could be a gentleman pervert and somehow still find someone right for you, right? Exactly. That's the lesson we're learning here. So let's move forward. Let's see if Mayuri can convince her to come to the Christmas party, because Mayuri is obviously trying to help Suzuha smile, and a big part of that is trying to get Daru and future waifu together. So let's jump into it. So Fubuki just finished tickling Mayuri, because she was looking kind of distressed when oh gosh, what's her first name? It's Amane. I'll know it. Yuki? Is it Yuki? When she's like, yeah, I don't think it'll work out. So I'm done with the tickling. See, I'm gonna have to play the camera here again. In the end, Katsumi kept calling Mayuri until they reached the station, clinging to Mayuri until they reached the station. She felt a lot better, but catching Mayuri when she was when she tried to escape used up a lot of energy. Either way, now she was satisfied. What? This isn't this timeline though, right? She shuddered and turned back towards Mayuri as an image came to her mind from out of nowhere. What the fetch?
Mayushi. Nani? Fuyukomima. Ishoni kosu shiyou ne.
So, Fubuki somehow can get flashes from the other world. But she wasn't there, was she? She couldn't have been. So why is she getting memories? Oh, that's really weird.
この前話したよ。冬コミマはね、マユシーは作る方に専念します。それでもいいからさ、とにかく冬コミマもこの4人で絶対一緒に参加しよう。ね。当たり前だよ。そのために今日みんなで買い物したんだよ。
What is going on? I wonder, we have always kind of wondered, like, is Okabe isolated in his ability of reading Steiner, you know, being able to pick up and retain memories between dimensions? Are there other people who can do that? And if they could, have they been? Of course, we also know that people retain their memories even of their own. Like, Mayuri started having dreams of herself dying over and over again. Lukako had dreams and had understanding of life as a guy. Ferris had memories of herself living in the world without her father. So, Fubuki maybe is just getting some of that too?
だよね。でも、約束だよ。
But it's disturbing. The implication is that maybe we're starting to drift again towards the alpha world line, and that's we sacrificed a lot to prevent that from happening.
約束?
Mayuri and Yuki split up with them in front of the station since they were taking the different train.
それじゃあね。おやすみなさい。まゆりちゃん、ゆきさん。またね。てってる。バイバイ。
Don't say bye bye. Say see you again. Katsumi stood still and watched the two of them until they were out of sight. She felt like she was about to cry and looked up to stop the tears from falling. Why?
Fubuki-chan?
Yeah. What's up with her? Cade was standing next to her looking worried.
どうしたの?
Yeah.
ごめん、なんでもない。なんでもなくないよ。
Yeah, it is. Something. What is going on with Fubuki?
もしかして、まゆりちゃんがどうかしたの?
Okay, I'm getting creepy vibes right now. Like, it's not just like the weird little coincidences we're having here. It's also just the fact that, like, the Rounders seem to be active again. Boaka was specifically seeking out Dr. Leskinen and Maho. There's something fishy about all of this. It's probably the rumblings of the beginning of World War III. But again, why is the previous world line still intruding in this world line? Even in little bits and pieces. This is... It shouldn't be happening. We left that world line behind. Like, the change is drastic between the two. We shouldn't have had this problem. It was easy to see influencing, like, when on the alpha line with other alpha lines, because they're all twisted together, right? But the beta world line is supposed to be almost completely independent of this world line. And the only connection are those deviation points, where they fuse for those instances when like time coalesces from major events. So why? Why would the alpha world line still be rubbing up to the beta world line? Is there another major event that's on its way that could be heralding that? That could be it. Maybe, despite the fact that there's usually pretty big gaps between these events, like maybe there's another one coming up right away. You never can tell. It's like large events can happen at any time in the timeline. The timeline won't care. And if that means the alpha world line is trying to bleed in a bit, could that mean that somebody like CERN, with the right information, could try and jump back to the world line where they got control? And if CERN could theorize that there could have been something with Okabe, again, maybe... Remember I talked about like the amazingness and the danger that could be if you scan Okabe's brain into the Amadeus system, where his memories could be fully accessed by a computer. Perhaps they could recreate the time leap machine. Yeah. Okay. So, theory I'm going to run with right now is that the Rounders and CERN somehow have an inkling that something happened. Some data got erased or something, and that the world line dramatically changed, and that they are no longer heading towards an outcome that is as desirable as their former. And so the Rounders, rather than focusing on just trying to find IBM 5100s, they're now shifting towards trying to find ways back to the Alpha world line, where they won. And maybe they're starting to get close. Maybe that's what's going to cause problems.
お願い、話して。
Even after Kate asked, Katsumi wasn't sure she should tell her. There was no way she'd believe it anyway.
今日の吹雪ちゃん、いつもよりテンション高かった。すごく無理してる感じがしたもの。気づいてたんだ。気づくよ。
Katsumi and Kate had known each other for 2 years. Since their ages were so different, they treated each other like an older and younger sister. So at times like this, Kate was really sharp. Kate didn't talk too much, but that meant she paid a lot of attention to the people around her. Part of it was also that Katsumi wasn't good at hiding things. She just couldn't lie to Kate, no matter what. She gave up and decided to say it.
マユシーがね。死んじゃうんだ。
Interesting.
何？どういうこと？
Katsumi remembered the nightmares and the things she kept seeing no matter how much she didn't want to.
夢を見るんだよ。夢？夏ぐらいからかな。毎日夢の中でマユシーが死んで、その度に私や楓ちゃんは泣いて。でもどうすることもできなくて。
Somehow she's picking up on Okabe's memories then, I'm thinking. She was never there in the original timeline.
夕べ見た夢なんか最悪だった。私たちの目の前で突然マユシーが倒れて動かなくなっちゃうの。そのマユシーをね、オカリンさんが悲鳴を上げながら抱きしめて大きな声で叫んでて。
Wow. So why can she see this?
ねえ、どうしちゃったんだろう私。なんでこんな夢ばっかり。落ち着いて、吹雪ちゃん。多分疲れてるせいよ。そうかな。そうなのかな。
Interesting.
だってまゆりちゃん、今日もすごく元気だったでしょ。
Kate gave Katsumi a gentle shoulder hug.
だから大丈夫。
So yeah, like, maybe Fubuki also has reading Steiner. She gives a carrier wave for these old memories that going from a distant, not real past.
私、やだよ。マユシーが死んだりしたら。
No, it's
そんなことありえないわ。絶対に。
I mean, anyone can die.
絶対に。絶対よ。
Kei's words made Katsumi calm down a little. She was glad to have an older friend like this.
とにかく気のせいよ。そんな悪いこと起きるはずがないでしょ。
Her hand squeezed Katsumi's shoulder tightly. Being held like this made Katsumi feel a lot better.
ごめんね。変なこと言って。
Sounds freaking traumatic. But that night she had the nightmares again. Edge. Hey, Suzuha. And it's like, let's just appreciate the fact that we're back in the lab. Suzuha Amane was about to run out of patience. Cause was the young man in the room with her father. Itaru Hashida, aka Daru. His massively obese body was leaning forward over a computer monitor, and he had a dopey grin on his face. He'd finally gotten up around 11 a.m., gulped down 3 cups of instant ramen, and now was surfing the internet. Oh no. Dormies must die in the Parthenon, our husband and wife. Oh dear. So, Dormies must die must be a shock. So, Parthenon, a female freelance illustrator. She primarily does illustrations for Ninya. Yeah, okay, I said that right the first time. Ninya video and Vocalo songs, and is mostly popular with young women. In Order to Die, a Vocalo producer, 2 of his videos have exceeded over 1 million views, popular for the unique worlds he builds with his lyrics. As his name suggests, many of his songs criticize normies, or criticize himself for not having any friends. His songs are a source of support for viewers in similar dire straits. His songs always feature images by the same illustrator, Parthenon, and her cute illustrations are another source of popularity. Yeah, unfortunately, building up your success around being, I hate to say the term, but an incel, definitely would make you unpopular suddenly if you learned that they were actually married and had a normal, life.
つうか、リア充メッセーとか名乗ってる本人がリア充じゃん。リアルに嫁いるとか、汚すぎる
Yeah, it's one of those interesting things, because, I really started diving into this, more otaku-esque type of culture, after I got married. I'm very lucky I have someone who's supportive of this.
ぐぬぬぬぬ、ぼっちの味方だと思ってたのに。
Wow, the way he talks is so weird.
こんなん戦争だろ。炎上必死だろ。うお、と思ったら、もうアットちゃんもツイポも炎上してた件について。
Tweeter. It's interesting. Isn't that similar? In Chunsoft, they have Tweenter. This is Tweeter. Tweeter. Fictional name of a microblogging software app allows for tweets up to 140 characters in length. Tweets from other users you follow can be viewed in timeline, allowing for it to be used as a chat program.
僕としたことが出遅れた。これまでの流れをちゃんとチェックしないと。
父さん。
はい。
Oh, Daru. That's what Suzuha called her father. It's who he was, after all, so there was nothing else to call him. Suzuha was a time traveler from the year 2036, and 7 years from now, he would become her father.
いい加減にしなよ。一日中ゴロゴロして、食べるかネットを見るかゲームをしてるかばっかり。
Welcome to who your father is, which shocked all of us. Even though I kind of called it, but I laughed at it.
体に病変を生じるって警告しても治そうともしない。
I know for a fact everyone who watched my first playthrough absolutely loved how way early on I was like, what if Daru was her father? I was like, no, that'd be stupid. In fact, his PC desk was covered with snacks. She cleaned it regularly, but it never seemed to make a difference.
運動だってしろって言ってるのに全然しない。
Aww. Suzuha realized she was complaining more than usual, but she had to say it anyway. It's tough. When you get to Daru's size, I don't even know, I technically probably am around his size. Not a little, I don't know, he's pretty big. I'm a big boy, but I think Daru puts me into shame. And I'm happily working on it too. I'm actually, making progress in that department.
そんなんじゃ将来。
And then she realized that Ataru wasn't even listening to her. His eyes were fixed on the computer monitor. He'd moved his mouse out of sight, but she could still hear him clicking it.
話を聞きなさい。
What is she doing to his neck? Wait, no, not that. Where's the button? There it is. What is she doing? She's gonna knock him out? Suzuha approached her father from behind and put the hairspray she'd been hiding up to his neck. It's supposed to feel like a gun, maybe? Ataru seemed to think it was a gun. He stuck his hands up. Threats like this worked. They worked because she told him that she'd survived the Third World War and the wars of chaos of 2036, and that she was ready to draw a gun and pull the trigger whenever she needed to.
すずは、やめてくんないと、父さん怒っちゃう。
怒られるのは父さんの方。
はい、すみません。でもさ、僕の秘密の仕事知ってるっしょ？あれが結構忙しいんだよ。
But you're not working.
僕ぐらいのハッカーになると引く手あまたでさ。食事も適当に済まさざるを得ないっつうか。
But he has time to work to sit on the internet and look at that channel? Oh man.
海外のクライアント相手だと時差もあって昼夜逆転しちゃうっつうか。
未来の父さんもそんなことばっかり言って母さんに叱られてた。
Hmm.
100歩譲って睡眠周期は仕方ないとしても、これ以上健康を損ねるような食事は許容範囲外。即刻中止すること。いい？
だけど仕事もそうだけどタイムマシンの研究が大変なんだ。癒しが欲しいんだよね僕。
I wonder why he's researching time machines. I guess he has to build the one in the future that she uses, so I suppose he needs to do that work.
そうやって言い訳してすぐだらけようとする。甘えてるよ、父さん。
How did they figure out how to build a time machine in this timeline without Kurisu? I never actually asked that before. Such a really interesting point. I mean, the fact that they understand the theory of it, because I mean, Suzuha has a general understanding of how the time machine works, and they might still have it to be able to like study. So maybe they'll try and reverse engineer it. That's one of those weird timeline loops where like, if Daru's reverse engineering the time machine that Suzuha used, which is the one he built in the future, that he learned how to build because he reverse engineered it. It's cyclical. Like, how did the time machine ever come to be in the first place? Well, that's one of those fun paradoxes of time travel. But there's something else to it. There's something else that has to happen, I think. There's no way he could learn enough to be able to make a time machine by himself without, like, access to more research. But CERN's not going to have the proper research anymore. Suzuha was already amazed that her dad managed to survive the future's wars. Since the time machine research would affect the future, and eventually Suzuha's very presence here, she couldn't tell him to stop. Even after Rentaro Okabe stopped coming to the Future Gadget Lab, Taro had kept working on the time machine all by himself. Suzuha never said a word about it. If she did, it might create a time paradox.
タイムマシンを作るのに未来から来たタイムマシンを精査しちゃダメだからね。
Okay, so she's trying to close out the loop, where she says if he tries to learn how to build a time machine by looking at the existing one that he supposedly built, it would create a paradox. She decided to warn him again.
分かってるよそんなこと。でも時々自信なくなるんだよね。僕本当にタイムマシンなんて作るん？
I don't think he can do it all the way.
当然だよ。しっかりして。
はい。
Suzuha took the hairspray can off his neck.
てっきり銃だと思ったらなんというはったり。父さんを騙すなんてひどいよ。
次は本物使うからね。
それマジ勘弁。
Suzuha put the can of hairspray back on the shelf. It was something Rentaro Okabe had left here when he'd lived in the lab. It was still here since its owner never came back for it.
漫画とかゲームだとさ、父親を叱る娘ってのはもっとこう燃えるんだけどな。鈴葉、ちょっとさ、もうダメだよパパって言ってみてくんない？できれば甘やかすような口調で。
Oh, Daru. Kinda hurts. I know, Suzuha, I'm sorry.
なんでもないでござる。
My dad shrank from Suzuha's glare. Good. Suzuha sighed loudly and dropped herself onto the sofa. She leaned back against the headrest and stared at the ceiling, then closed her eyes.
どうしたん？
なんでも。
隠しても無駄なのだぜ。鈴葉のなんでもないってのは 話を聞いてほしいって意味っしょ。ほら、話してみるといいよ。
Daru sounded very serious. Suzuha's eyes went wide for a moment, but then she realized he has his moments. He really does. Like, he can be so aggravating, but when it push comes to the shove, he's always pulled through.
そのセリフ、この前プレイしてたギャルゲーにあったよね。
Oh, well, I'm sure he has the best of intentions.
それでフラグが成立するんだっけ？
Oh no. The flag, a computer game lingo, it's a type of foreshadowing that means a common trope is about to occur. For example, a XXXX flag means that sometime in the future, XXXX will happen. Death flags, love flags are common examples. She'd been living here for 3 months. She was starting to learn a little about Akihabara's culture circa 2010.
父さん、間違っても私を落とそうとか思わないでよね。
Yeah, no. That better not freaking happen, man.
ねえよ、実の娘にそんなことしないって。
Good, I'm glad.
本当かな？未来の父さんはちょっと怪しかった。
Really?
私が思春期になってからもよく一緒にお風呂入ろうって誘われたな。
何それ怖い。
Yeah, he's really? Dang.
私は軍属だったし、父さんはタイムマシンの開発に追われてたからいつも一緒にいられるわけじゃなかったけど、とにかくベタベタしてきたよ。鬱陶しいくらいにね。
Oh man. It's not. Yeah, I agree. Her dad looked honestly depressed, and she realized that she'd gone too far.
父さんはさ、いつも私に言ってくれてたよ。ここは最低最悪の世界線だけど、私が誕生したことだけは最高だって。
Aww.
私、未来の父さんを失望させたくないんだ。だから、絶対にオカリンおじさんを説得しなきゃ。
Wow.
大丈夫。失望したりしないって、絶対に。
そうかな。けどね、おじさんはどうしても話を聞いてくれないよ。このままじゃおじさんは過去へ行かない。マキセ・クリスを救出しない。シュタインズゲートにも到達しない。
Steins Gate. That was the name of the mysterious worldline her dad had told her about in 2036, where World War III might not occur. Leading Rintaro Okabe to that worldline was her mission. But right now, it wasn't going well. Suzuha had come to 2010, and just like the mission had called for, she'd succeeded in sending Rintaro Okabe to July 28th. But then he'd failed, and he wasn't going to try again. Every time they met, she tried to convince him, but who knew if her words were having any effect.
結局、第三次世界大戦に世界線は収束して、大勢の人たちが殺戮される。それを変えるために私は来たのに、何もできない運命なのかな。
And the trouble is that she can't. She provided the tools necessary, but she physically couldn't. Not with the way things had played out, not with the way things had to play out. Suzuha had something else she had to do here in Akihabara in December 2010, because convincing Rintaro Okabe, but besides convincing Rintaro Okabe, and it meant she was running around every day. The exhaustion was starting to take its toll on her. During the war, she'd been able to keep herself sharp at all times. At this level of exhaustion, wouldn't have meant anything. The relaxed atmosphere of 2010 was actually making her realize how tired she was. She was feeling very sleepy right now, actually. She was surprised at how willing she was to fall asleep in such an undefended position, but she didn't think she could beat the temptation. And then suddenly she felt something extremely cold on the back of her neck. Uh-oh, did he just get revenge? She snapped awake in an instant. Careful, like, she might kill you. Her movements after that were lightning quick. She jumped up, slid behind the massive body in front of her, which was obviously belonged to Ataru, and grabbed his arm and twisted it as she dropped him to the floor. Fetch! She went to draw the gun at her hip, and her hand swiped through empty air. And then she came back to reality. Her gun was hidden. She wasn't carrying it. This wasn't 2036. Two cans of Dr. P clattered to the floor. That must have been what she put on her neck.
何するの父さん。
さっきのお返しだお。
ぼーっとしてたから危うく殺しちゃうとこだったよ。
Oh man.
そういう訓練受けてきたんだからシャレじゃ済まないんだって。
わかったから話してくださり。言いたいでござるの巻。
まったくもう。
She's freaking crazy cool. Suzuha let her father go. She reminds me of the character of Vin from the Mistborn series, where like she had a harsh like life that trained her and honed her to be extra cautious and paranoid and have reflexes like that. It'd be very difficult to like try and be close to somebody like that, but worth it, you know, if like you two mean a lot to each other. Itaru rubbed his arm and stood up, then grabbed the cans of Dr. P off the floor. He offered one to Suzuha.
つうかさ、諦めんの早すぎだろう。もうちょっと頑張ってみるのだぜ。多分、オカリンは疲れて眠ってるだけだから、今みたいに冷たい毒ペでも首筋に当ててやれば飛び起きるんじゃね？
I hope so. I wonder what she's trying to do. I'm guessing that her whole, like, what she's saying that she's running around working on, I don't think it's about bringing her parents together. I think there's something else she's here doing.
なんせほら、あのオカリンだし。
You know, if you knew that World War III was coming, wouldn't it make sense to try and do things like prepare like a bunker? You know where a lot of the kickoff's going to start, so maybe trying to organize the right people in the right places, maybe even find a way to try and warn people before things kick off. She realized her dad was trying to cheer her up, nodded. He's a good guy. And she heard footsteps coming up the stairs and some slightly off-key humming. Hello, Mayuri. Oh! Their eyes met. Just the sound was enough to tell them who it was. Why? What? Why? Suzuha moved fast, maybe even faster than when she knocked their father to the ground. She quickly and silently jumped behind the curtain that separated the lab's development room with the rest of it. Oh, is her mom appearing here? Just as she hid beneath the desk, there was a knock at the door. Suzuha knew that voice, of course. It was her mom. Well, yeah, so I was like 99% sure, like, here's the formal confirmation, not whether we really need it. She could tell from her the noises she was making that her dad was panicking. Yeah, now that he kind of knows, like, God, it'd be kind of weird to, like, try and initiate a relationship when you kind of know the end of it already. How would you even do that without, like, freaking out? There was another knock.
Hi, 今出る。
Itaru went to open the door. Suzuha took a deep breath and concentrated her mind. She remembered the time she'd spent 3 days and 3 nights on the battlefield with no food and nothing to drink, constantly aiming her rifle at the target. She erased any trace of her presence that could give her away. Her breathing started to become shallow. Dad, don't screw this up, okay?
天音氏、今日はまゆしと待ち合わせ？
What an interesting pair. Itaru came back into the room with a girl.
はい、お料理の特訓をすることになっているんですけど。
Oh, interesting. She could hear plastic bags rustling. She must have brought the ingredients.
まゆし、来てないんだよね。
そうですか。ちょっと来るの早かったかな。
Yuki Amane. Just as the name Amane suggested, she was Suzuha's mother in the future. In other words, the two of them were in the other room were supposed to get married.
まあ約束があるならそのうち来るんじゃないかな。
待っていてもいいですか？
もちろん。ここで料理もするんでしょ。
はい、橋田さんもぜひ味見してくださいね。
No wonder he'll fall in love with her.
マユシのはあんまり食べたくないよ。
大丈夫ですよ。まゆりちゃんすごく上達してるんですから。
へへ。
Itaru was clearly nervous. As far as Suzuha knew, the only girl he acted this way around was Yuki Amane. Suzuha and Mayuri were practically family, and he got along fine with Big Sister Rumi Fetis. Whoa! Big Sister Rumi Fetis Nyan Nyan, who worked at the maid cafe next door. Big Sister, huh? So it wasn't that he didn't know how to act around girls, but for some reason he always acted differently when she was around. She told him that Yuki would be his wife someday. It was too late to do anything about it now, but maybe that was a mistake, she thought.
今日は妹さんはお留守ですか？
え、あ、うん。
そうですか。
Yeah, oopsies. Itaru Hashida's sister was none other than Suzuha herself. Around the same time Suzuha had started spending all her time in the lab, Yuki had become friends with Mayuri and Itaru, and began visiting more frequently. Which meant that avoiding her was almost impossible, and so she was forced to tell Yuki that she was Itaru's little sister. But still, she wanted to keep contact with them to a minimum in order to keep Yuki from finding out somehow. That was why she was hiding.
そうそう。どうですこの服。この前買ったんですけど。
Wow, fetch man. He's got a cheese. What a lucky guy. Yuki showed no signs of noticing Suzuha. She was twirling around in the center of the room as if she was at a fashion show. Yuki was a cosplayer and wanted as many people as possible to see her dressed up. Mayuri had told Suzuha this once before. In fact, Yuki and Mayuri spent a lot of time complimenting each other's outfits. Oh no, not that look.
すごくいい。
Yeah.
本当ですか？
うわー、天使来たこれって感じ。
Aww. See, it's one of those things where, like, could be creepy, could be cute, depends on how they're interpreted.
ありがとうございます。
Aww.
橋田さんもおしゃれしましょうよ。ちょっとだけ痩せれば結構素敵だと思うな。
Ooh.
はははは。
私本気ですよ。
おお。
Well, this is awkward. Itaru Hashida and Yuki Amane. As she listened to their awkward conversation, Suzuha remembered the last time she said goodbye to her dad. Whoa, wait, whoa, we can see the future? Oh, fetch, man. August 13th and 36th. Dang. Kind of crazy.
父さん、治安部隊が万世橋まで来てる。
So, my boys, I try not to talk about them too directly, but like the crazy thing is that if this were to actually happen in World War III around this time period, my boys would absolutely be a part of it. That's terrifying. All right. Mansubashi, one of the bridges to the south side of Akihabara that crosses over the Kanda River. The original Mansubashi was built in a different spot. When new Mansubashi Bridge was built in its current location, the old bridge became known as Old Mansubashi, until it was taken down altogether in 1906. The bridge only came into its current arch shape after several rebuildings, including one after the Great Kanto earthquake.
ということは、ここが発見されるのも時間の問題かな。あらかじめ流しておいた偽の情報も効果なかったか。
Oh, that sucks.
おう、開けるぞ。
Oh my gosh, look at that.
すごい。こんなところに扉があったなんて。これなら誰にも見つからないね。
Mayuri's there too.
So, 中へ。
ここって
Man, I'm already depressed just thinking about this future. It looked horrible. Whoa, who's that? The room was almost totally empty and covered to the top and bottom with soundproofing materials. Who is that girl? Who is that girl? She's like, I have to know. Who is that? Not only were there no windows, there wasn't even a door in the hallway. The building they were in was once a symbol of old Akihabara before it was almost entirely destroyed by an air raid during the last days of the Third World War. Only a few people knew about this secret room inside it. The biggest reason was its secret. The silhouette of what looked like a satellite sitting in the corner. Time machine.
これタイムマシンだよね。これがタイムマシン？かがり、危ないからあんまり近づくな。
Kagari. Oh my gosh, that name. That name sounds familiar, but why? Suzuha spoke to the little girl clutching Mayuri's hand. Most of the children in this era had skin inflammation somewhere in their bodies from the radioactive rain, but she didn't. Her name was Kagari Shina. Kagari Shina. Her registration form said she was 10 years old, but no one knew if that was true. She was an orphan who'd lost her parents in the Tokyo air raids when she was a baby. Nobody even knew her birthday. The name Kagari had been given to her by Mayuri, who was working at the Child Welfare Center and had taken her in. Of course Mayuri would be working at the Child Welfare Center. She took it from the word Kagaribi, which meaning bonfire, and hoped that she could be a light even in these dark days. It had been 4 years since Mayuri had adopted her, and her name on the registration form had become Kagari Shina.
綺麗だね、ママ。
Aww.
そうね。
Suzuha motioned for the Shinas to step back and put her right hand and right eye up to the time machine sensor. The biometrics check cleared and the hatch slid open. She went inside and fastened herself into the seat.
これほど長時間の有人ジャンプは初めてだが、技術的には全く問題ない。これまでのテストジャンプ通りやればいいからな。
Okie dokie.
Yeah, this one could go back and forward, so it wasn't like they could actually do tests with it. Suzuha began to flip switches, working her way through the startup procedure. She practiced it hundreds of times in preparation for this day. The faint rumble from inside the time machine began to get louder.
データによれば、昔のラジカンはちょうどこの場所が屋上になってる。ただし、高さが1メートルほどずれてるからな。着地するときに衝撃があると思う。
Interesting. So that must have been the difference. It's like, for the beta worldline, it would appear and just kind of crash, but it still landed fine. And the other one, it appeared inside the building, because obviously there would have been a different height at where the lab was.
了解。
The time machine could move through time, but not space. To arrive at the radio building more than 60 years in the past, she needed to launch from right here.
トラブルが起きても冷静にな。トレーニングを思い出せばいい。
大丈夫だよ。私は父さんのマシンを信じてるから。
Aww. Her words must have meant a lot to him because he stuck out his lip toward her. She squished them back with her hand.
気持ち悪い。
悲しいな。鈴葉は父さんが嫌いかい？
父さんがやるとなんか下心があるみたいだから。
Yeah.
いくらなんでも娘相手に下心なんてねえよ。
最近母さんに似てきたハスハスとか言ってたのはどこの誰？
Oh no. Her mother wasn't here. She'd become a victim of the war, brutally killed by the peacekeeping squads. Oh, fetch.
冗談を真に受けないでくれたまえ。
なんだ、冗談だったの？
Suzuha's voice sounded kind of disappointed. She set the destination for August 13th, 1975. Her first mission was there.
これでよし。それじゃあ父さん、 マユ姉さん。
She was about to say her goodbyes, but then... Oh, serious? Fetch. Get out of here. Get out of here. Suzuha drew her gun from her holster. She was about to get out of the time machine, but her dad stopped her. Go.
ダメだ。さっさと飛べ。
でも、父さんたちが。
俺たちのことはいい。早く行け、鈴葉。
そんな、だって。
マヤシ、係ちゃんを。
Oh my gosh. Oh no. They're sending her to 1975. 1975. And then they send her back. And it's a 10-year-old 1975. How old will she be in 2010? 25, 35, 45, 45 years old. Oh my gosh, that's Kurisu's mother, isn't it? That's what that is. That's why she looks so familiar. I was about to say, she looks like a miniature Kurisu. Kurisu's mom, last name might have been Shina. Would she remember this, though? Maybe not. Maybe she's somebody else we have yet to meet, but still.
このマシンにはもう一人乗れる。
Mayuri and Shizuha's father picked up the stunned Kagari, and stuffed her into the time machine.
すずちゃん、係をお願い。
Oh my gosh.
わかった。
Shizuha's mission succeeded. The worldline would be rebuilt, and it was likely that the present Kagari would cease to exist. It might have been pointless to send her. But even so, a mother wants her child to live. That's how Shizuha's mom was too.
Mama.
Kagari finally seemed to understand what was going on. She called out to her mom.
大丈夫だよ、係ちゃん。すずちゃんが一緒だからね。
Oh my gosh.
ダメ、ママも一緒じゃなきゃダメ。過去へ行けば昔のママがいるよ。今よりずーっと若くて、係ちゃんびっくりするだろうな。
Mayuri handed Kagari a tiny keychain. It looked old. It may have been brightly colored green once, but now it was completely faded. An
ママが
Upa.
ずっと大切にしてきたウーパのキーホルダーだよ。係ちゃんにあげる。大事にしてね。
I already know what Upa is. Mascot character of the rail neck Kakaru anime, dog-like virtual pet with an egg-shaped cylindrical body, its short stubby arms and legs come in many different colors. It can't talk, but it can communicate by crying Upa or Upa. She does bear a resemblance to Kurisu, but at the same time, she could be anybody. Gosh darn it, I feel like I should be kicking myself because I have this feeling that we've seen the name Kagari, but where? It'll tell me. I feel like I should know this already. It did itch at the back of my mind. Once it was pressed firmly into Kagiri's hand, she stepped back. Mayuri was smiling but weeping at the same time. I know, I get him too.
いや、行きたくない。ママと一緒にいる。ママ、ダメ。係、おとなしくしてなさい。
Wow. She doesn't normally talk like that. Kagari fell silent immediately. Even Suzuha had never heard Mayuri use that tone of voice. That's how harshly she scolded her daughter. Kagari was quietly weeping, unmoving.
閉めるぞ。
This time, the hatch really did begin to close. The inside of the machine and the outside of it, the two worlds were about to be completely cut off from one another. Whether Suzuha's mission was successful or not, she would probably never see any of them again. Kagari. Who is that?
絶対に諦めるな、大バカ野郎ってな。
オキドキ。
And then the door was sealed shut, and Mayuri and Ataru's voices disappeared, along with the chaos outside.
父さん、大好き。
She whispered towards the door, now sealed shut.
行くよ、かがり。かっこいい。
Kagari. I should know this! She booted up the time machine.
橋田さん、掃除機はどこ？
Suzuha snapped back to reality. Yuki was getting closer to the development room where she was hiding in.
そのカーテンの危な！
この奥？
僕が持ってくるよ。
That was close. Atari motioned for her to stop and then quickly slid into the room. As he reached down to pick the vacuum off the floor, his gaze locked her Suzuha's as she hid under the desk.
バレないようにしてよ、父さん。
オキドキ。
Aww.
ありましたか、掃除機。
うん。
Evidently, Yuki was trying to be nice by cleaning up. The place was pretty messy right now. Knowing Yuki's personality, Suzuha could imagine she'd want to clean it. Hitaru grabbed what looked like a vacuum cleaner off the floor and left the development room.
何ですか、それ。
未来ガジェット5号機。
Future gadget number 5. And then the tip was way longer. Once again, I've made a worthless object by Guilmon. Future gadget number 5, the future gadget of your dreams, made by connecting the dryer and the vacuum. It uses the exhaust from the vacuum in the dryer. The name comes from the famous anime about a phantom thief, Lupin's the Third. Phantom thief, like, is that from like the Persona games? I only played the 5th one, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, if you know that reference, let me know. But once again, I've made a worthless object.
分解すれば普通の掃除機として使えるはず。
お掃除するための掃除機なのに、分解したらかえって散らかすことになりません？橋田さんって頭がいいのに時々うっかりなことしますよね。
そうかな。
でもそういう人の方が私好きだな。
Holy fetch, Yuki. She's freaking forward.
なんだと。
Ataru started to panic again as Suzuha sighed.
ただ生活については見直した方がいいと思うんです。お部屋の掃除はできれば毎日した方がいいですよ。ここ特に埃っぽいですし。それだけじゃありません。食事のこともそうです。今日もカップ麺だったんでしょ？
Wow, this is creepy.
なんで知ってるん？
お台所に食べ残したまま放置されてます。
なるほど。
それにお菓子がこんなにたくさん。食べ過ぎだっていつも言ってるのに。
Aww.
一応 気をつけてはいるのだぜ。
Oh, do you really?
一応じゃダメです。あんまりカップ麺やお菓子ばかり食べてると病気になっちゃいますよ。あと少しは運動すること。
No.
It's like, Yuki Amane was saying the exact same thing that Suzuha had just said. Perhaps they really were mother and child. Suzuha was just beginning to feel a little homesick when she sensed another visitor approaching. Hey. Hey, Mayuri. The door to the lab opened and the greeting she'd heard many times before resounded through the room.
ごめんね、ユキさん。ちょっと遅れちゃった。
It was Mayuri coming to see Yuki. But there was another presence there too.
まゆりちゃん、こんにちは。岡部さんも一緒だったんですね。
He's here?
オカリン、久しぶりじゃん。
Yeah, man.
ああ、久しぶり。
It's weird seeing him from the outside. When she heard his voice, Suzuha ground her teeth a little. Oh boy. Oh, hello, Amadeus.
興味深いわね。
However, this is probably where we're going to stop for today. Hey, I didn't do too bad. I only coughed a few times. My voice sounds good. It was gravelly yesterday, so I'm glad it's improved. And fetch, man. Who's the little girl? Who was she? How did Suzuha take care of her? Interesting. There's a lot going on. What is happening? No, it was Kagami, right? Kagami, I'm just thinking. Kagami. Come on, think, brain, think. I don't dare ever try and look it up because I know I'll spoil it for myself. But what? The name is so stinking familiar. It could just be that, like, I know there's an anime I've been watching recently that had a character with that name, but it's not that. It's like, from looks, I would guess it's Kurisu's mom, but I feel like there's something else to it. Who would it have been? I don't know. It's driving me nuts. I'm gonna think about this. Sad that you can't spoil it for me, but gosh darn it. Oh, I'm going crazy just thinking about it. Anyway, this outro is garbage at this point. I've just been sitting there thinking and stewing. I should have been just chatting with you guys. So, otherwise, we gotta look at the Third World War after. That's the thing. Like, technically, it said like the Third World War was over. It was just being like the peacekeeping squads were just running over all the resistance at this point. So that was the post-war world that we saw, and it looked horrid. And then I can imagine that maybe one of the better places, or I guess they might have set the lab in there because they had to set the lab in there. That's possible too, but still, just ugh. And Suzuha's mom got killed brutally by those squads too. I can see how this is almost worse than the Alpha Worldline at this rate, honestly. At least in the Alpha Worldline, people were allowed to live. They couldn't live how they wanted to, but they were allowed to live. Anyway. Excuse me. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure having you, and it's a pleasure being able to record this finally. Yes. So thank you for putting up with my poor voice, and hopefully I can continue to improve and not get sick again. All the sickness stuff's been happening recently. Honestly, I think what happens is that I've been working hard. I've been actually exercising a lot more. Like, speaking of health. But the problem is that every time we do, we take our kids stay in like the kids daycare play area while we exercise, and they keep bringing home sicknesses. And then I get it because I'm here with them all the time, and this week's especially it was brutal. It just destroyed all of us. So it kind of ruined our whole Easter weekend. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, hopefully I get over this, and hopefully we won't have any more in the near future. But we'll see. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings and theories, and I look forward to this. Ah, I'm getting really excited. Every single time I get to record this, I'm already getting like super hyped for it. So I can't wait to see what happens next. And I'm really excited to see things from Okabe's perspective again, especially because I won't have to edit so darn much. But anyway, I don't mind that. It's fine. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Until the next video, watching me, or happy to see me in next. I'll see you there.